Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about another fossil pteridophyte, Calamites. It belongs to the class Synopsida order Equisetails and family Calamites. From the order Equisetails, we have already discussed their living genera. Do you remember? Yes, Equiseta. The order Equisetail consists of plants that with sporophyte is divided into nodes and internodes, and the internodal region have ridges and furrows. Do you remember anything about the habitat? It is marshy or aquatic in habitat. Yes. Let, let's look into the detail of the genus Calamites. The Calamites is believed to flourish during the Carboniferous era with other arborescent lycopod. Do you remember any arborescent lycopod? Yes, Lepidodendron. These Calamites is believed to flourish along with Lepidodendron in the Carboniferous period. They were believed to evolve during the Devonian period and they were believed to extinct during the Triassic period. Actually, the name Calamites was given to the cast of the central cavity of the trunk of Calamites. The casts were found to be 3 to 8 meters in length and up to 30 centimeters. The trunks of the fossilized Calamites were found to have a length of 30 centimeters. So, from this we have concluded that the Calamites is a tree species with a length of 20 to 30 meter tall or height. So, the Calamites is a tree species. When the genus was reconstructed, the name Calamites was given and it is taken from the form genera of Calamites or its trunk. The plant body is differentiated into a rhizome and the aerial branch. The rhizome and aerial branches are divided into nodes and internodes like that of Equisetum. From the nodal region arises the erect branch or the aerial branch. Here you can see the plant body that is differentiated into rhizome and aerial stem, and from the aerial stem there arises the whorls of adventitious branches. These branches further produces secondary and primary branches, giving the plant a giant horse tail-like appearance. Hence, the plant is called as a horsetail, giant horsetail. Do you know which plant is called as horsetail? Yes, Equisetum is called as horsetail. And here the species Calamites that is called as giant horsetail. And the ultimate branches bears leaves. In Calamites, two types of leaves were found. First is called as astrophylates, which is linear in shape, and the leaves are borne from the nodes as whorls. And the second type of leaves is called as annularia, that is different in shape, that is spatulate in shape, and they are also borne from the nodes as whorls. In some species of the calamites, the leaves at the base were fused to form a sheath-like structure which protect the nodes. In most of the species, the leaves are free. However, in some species, the leaves are fused to form a sheath. And the leaves were considered to be photosynthetic in function. However, some of the pteridologists considered the major photosynthetic organ in Calamites is their stem like that of Equisetum. Here you can see the annularia, which is the spatulate type of leaves in Calamites, and the linear leaves that is called as astrophylates. Both are born from the nodes as whorls. Coming to the anatomy of leaf of Calamites. Calamites leaves consist of a single layered epidermis that is interrupted by stomata, and the mesophyll is divided into palisade and the centrally placed vascular bundle that is surrounded by bundle sheath cells. Let's look into the morphology of Calamite stem. Calamite stem is divided into nodes and internodes like that of Equisetum. And the internodal region also have ridges like this. In ridges like this. However, different from ecosystem, the ridges of the adjacent internodes were continuous. The ridges are continuous with each other. In case of ecosystem, here I am going to draw the stem of ecosystem. This is the nodal region and these are the two internodal region. The ridges of the adjacent internodes are alternate to each other. They are overlapping to each other. So the difference between the adjacent internodal regions of ecosystem and that of calamites is that the ridges are continuous in case of calamites and in case it is overlapping. Coming to the stem anatomy of calamites. The stem anatomy of calamites is similar to that of ecosystem. However, ecosystem lacks secondary thickening and in calamites there is secondary thickening and formation of secondary xylem. And another difference is the cortex consists of vellicular canals in ecosystem. There is no vellicular canals here in calamites. And the protoxylem in ecosystem and calamites is disintegrated to form carinal canals. Here you can see the carinal canal and the secondary xylem formed. However, there is no annular ring formation in case of calamites because it is believed during their period there was no seasonal variation. The roots of calamites were known as astromylon. The astromylon in anatomy exhibited an actinostele, triarch or tetrarch xylem. Like the stem, the roots also exhibited secondary thickening with the formation of a little secondary xylem. There are two types of strobili included in the genera Calamites. First is Calamostachys and second is Paleostachys. Let's look into the detail of Calamostachys. The strobili attained a length of 3 to 7 cm and a diameter of 7 mm. As you can see in the figure, the strobilus has a central axis and which is divided into nodes and internodes. From whorls of bracts are present at the nodes. From the nodes there arises whorls of bracts. From each node, 12 bracts were present in Calamostachys. Between the whorls of bracts, we have the sporangiophores. Sporangiophores are the sporangium bearing structure. And its upper side is modified into a peltate shaped disc as like we have discussed in ecosystem. Each wall contains 6 sporangiophores. From the peltate shaped disc of each sporangiophores, 4 sporangia arise. Here you can see the sporangium. The vascular tissue that running through the central several branches. One of the branch enter directly through the sporangiophore and the other branch enter directly through the bract. Here in Calamos, you can see the sporangiophore and the strobilus axis are right angle to each other. That is, the sporangiophore is born at right angle or at 90 degree at the sporangial axis or this. In Calamostachys, you can see the strobilus axis and the sporangiophore are at right angles to each other. That is, the sporangiophore is born at 90 degree to the strobilus axis. The second type of strobili seen in Calamites is Paleostachys. Attachment of sporangiophores to the strobilus at an axis of an angle of about 40 degree. Here you can see the sporangiophore is attached to the strobilus axis at a 40 degree angle. So difference from the Calamites is the where the Calamites is the central strobile axis and the sporangiophore are at 90 degree. Here it is at 40 degree. And according to the paleobotanist, number of whorls is limited. The whorls of bract is limited when compared to Calamites, and the sporangia are attached to the peltate base of the peltate disc, as we have seen in Calamites and Icissium. And the vascular supply that travels to the center further divides, and one of the supply enters into the bract, and other supply that travels upwards then goes downward to enter the sporangio. Paleobotanists believe that the Paleostachys is originated from Calamites.